currently no evidence that the coronavirus can be passed on through aerosol transmission.
We still have a low risk to the American public.
This is heroic. The actions of China is making us safer.
International health authorities, politicians, and experts have been continuously wrong about COVID-19. This may have been due to wrong information or misleading research. Whatever the reason, the result has been immense hardship for millions and hundreds of thousands of people losing their lives. When the lockdown started in Bangladesh, I began to worry about what is going to happen to my country. Every day I saw reports of thousands of people losing their lives in Bangladesh and all over the world. I got calls from my loved ones from around the world informing me of the ones they had lost. Many friends lost their jobs permanently due to this pandemic. I asked myself what I could do to help others in this situation, even though I am not a doctor or a scientist. So studying about COVID-19 in detail was my first instinct. Knowing how this virus spreads, why there are no cures for it, and what could be done to slow the spread was necessary to take action against it. I contacted many researchers in America and Europe to discuss and question them about information that I did not understand. On 27th of May, I realized that I got infected from COVID-19. My sickness gradually peaked and I had to be hospitalized. After nearly 54 days, I am still recovering, but the moment I came back from the hospital, I continued my research on COVID. After more than 6 months of research, scientists finally started to paint a better picture of how COVID spreads. The emphasis of COVID spreading mainly through surfaces has been misleading. Yes, there is surface transmission, but it is much less than we were originally told. In fact, the emphasis on washing your hands all the time and not explaining why we should be wearing masks has caused more harm than good. Before I got infected, I came to understand that the chief culprit was actually air transmission. This theory is now being proven by scientists. Let me explain how air transmission really works. The fact that COVID can only spread when an individual sneezes has now been proved wrong by scientists. If an individual is affected but unaware, just meeting and talking to another person can get that person infected as well. Scientists call that aerosol transmission. So even when speaking, the virus transmits into the air through the mouth in a cloud-like formation. The cloud is a mixture of infected secretions such as saliva, respiratory secretions, or respiratory droplets. This cloud can linger in the air for hours and can also drop onto surfaces. If an individual is in an enclosed space, like an office or restaurant, the virus can spread very easily through air transmission. The virus will spread depending on the location of the AC or air ventilation system. It is even riskier at a place with central AC system. Now let me explain how surface transmission works. Surface transmission can only take effect immediately. Recently, the WHO has stated that surface transmission is highly possible, but it is not as frequent as they first thought it to be. Next comes the question of why. The answer is very simple. When infected droplets dry up, the COVID virus cannot easily latch itself onto you or your clothes. Staying home and maintaining social distancing is not a long-run solution. Look at the situation of Beijing being under lockdown again. This means that it can reoccur anywhere at any time. On the other hand, look at countries like Japan and Vietnam, who made smart decisions. These countries allowed their economies to continue but took many preventive measures, including wearing masks and social distancing. I am very grateful to our Honorable PM for opening up the Bangladesh economy, because the alternative would be people starving to death, especially those who earn on a daily basis. Unfortunately, a lot of people are losing jobs and thousands are being forced to leave Dhaka for their villages. This is happening because people like you and me are worried about keeping up with our daily activities, such as shopping, eating out, etc. This problem is very real, and you are right to worry, but if we keep this up and lose all our businesses, not only will there be a human cost, but it will be devastating to our economy. Wearing PPEs and masks for the rest of our lives every time we go out is not going to be the solution that will take us forward. We have to find out answers which will help us to go back to being ourselves. It should allow us to visit our favorite restaurants with friends without the fear of being infected from COVID. We will discuss the solutions and technology available in the second part of this video. Before I was hospitalized, I put together several teams of engineers and scientists to work on different solutions. I understood the old saying, one glove can never fit all sizes. I gave each team a separate target to achieve. How to protect ourselves when visiting shops and retail establishments. How to protect our doctors and medical professionals who are our actual heroes. And how to protect our factory workers. For each of these three problems, we have devised different solutions. We understood that each of these places will have their own unique problems, for which we have to develop unique solutions. An office building with a central AC system will not be given the same solution as a restaurant. And a factory with thousands of workers cannot be given the same solution as a large market or mall. My main idea is that the solution we will provide must be continuous in nature, not a periodic stopgap solution. Traditional ideas of disinfecting your premises once or several times a week is not working, because an infected person can walk into your premises at any moment and start spreading COVID to others. In this first video, I have tried to build awareness on how COVID is actually spread. I am releasing several more videos which will build on this awareness and explain to you how we will use different types of technologies to destroy COVID in different environments. In this video, I will explain how we can protect you when you visit retail establishments such as shops and restaurants. Let me give you one example so you can understand step by step. And for this, I will use the example of a sari shop. When you visit a sari shop, you normally will go with friends or family. There may be other families visiting as well. Now, in the group who visited before you, there may have been someone who was infected. He has left a cloud of infection in the air and has also contaminated the surfaces of the saris and other things he has touched. First, we have to consider the type of space we are working with. As mentioned earlier, COVID spreads through the air and is circulated through AC or the ventilation system. Our team will evaluate the points of airflow coming in and leaving the space. I have sourced highly specialized air disinfection systems which will make sure that the air is completely disinfected in this closed environment. If the airflow of this shop is dependent on central AC for a mall, then we will install the central AC system technology. There are separate devices for air inflow and outflow. The central AC system kills germs and bacteria using a single photocatalysis system which is using UV technology. We can also use a dual protection system which will include negative ion technology. The central AC system is easy to install and an immediate solution that can be used by any establishment. If the building owner is not interested in our central AC system, then we can provide specialized and individual protection for the shop or the floor owners. Coming back to the sari shop example, it may be the case that this shop does not have central AC and is a standalone shop. For places like this, our mobile type units are best suited to serve the purpose of air disinfection. The mobile unit should be carefully placed between groups to make sure that any stale or infected air from one group does not reach groups that are close by. It is even more important to make sure there is no buildup of germs in that location, which could result in a super spreading event. Now let's talk about surface disinfection in the sari shop. Visitors will be coming in and out throughout the day. After every group leaves, the electrostatic spray technology together with our FDA-approved disinfecting chemicals is the right answer. It will disinfect all surfaces without inconveniencing people nearby. This system also has many benefits over traditional methods. 1. There absolutely won't be any gap in coverage because the system works like a magnet in all surfaces including shadowed or hidden areas. 2. Also, because of the catatonic charge of particles, there will be a wraparound effect around round and spherical objects. 3. The mist will also be dry and very tiny, so there will be no wetting of any surfaces. In a sari shop, the owner can spray the saris if they want to disinfect them from any viruses left by visitors. And 4. Only FDA-approved chemicals are used, making it perfectly safe for humans but deadly for COVID within minutes. You can spray while there are other people close by. These are some of the solutions that are available from KC. The advantages of these technologies are that unlike existing methods providing periodic disinfection, our solutions will work throughout the day. We have all learned about the countrywide infection curves. Now let's talk about germ buildup curves. I am actually talking about the virus and bacteria buildup in an enclosed space. Take the example of the number of people coming in and out of an office over a week. The curve will keep on peaking and spreading when infected guests are coming in and out and will only decrease once the area is periodically disinfected. Now, when you're using the KC disinfected solutions, we won't allow a curve to happen in the first place. Maybe there'll be a small bump, but it will be immediately taken care of because our disinfecting systems are constantly working. KC will soon come out with an assurance program. Retail establishments who will use our comprehensive solutions will be recognized in our social media page. We will also encourage you to start visiting these places again, feeling safe and knowing that our COVID-busting devices are working behind the scenes. To experience the products firsthand, visit the KC Gallery and we will give you a demonstration of some of our disinfecting systems. Remember, it's safe to visit us.